welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra. So first of all, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a great and a wonderful Christmas holiday season. And now we're going to do a makeup look using nothing new. So I haven't had anything new since my last fall haul from Sephora. And I thought maybe I would dive into some of the palettes I had talked about in my eyeshadow palette video. So I'm going to use Supernova today. I'm wearing these green pants. I can't show you guys, but some of these colors look muted, but it's a BH Cosmetics Supernova palette. And I was looking at maybe pulling out these greens and maybe the golds. I don't do well in green. I feel like I can pull off any color, but yet I feel like every time I wear green, I just don't like it. So I'm going to try something new today and see if we can use the BH Cosmetic palette. It might just be a simple monochromatic look, but it's going to be a sparkly shadow, and it's good for, still good for holiday. So I know this video was posting after New Year's, but you know, you can try it out any time of the year. You can use this with any type of shadow, any palette that you have. Just a simple sparkle shade all over the lid. It just adds kind of a little bit of glamour, especially for holiday parties, because I do know there are some holiday parties that continue well past the new year. It depends how fast you book them. So I'm going to use my Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I'm going to start with this. I think for spring, this is going to be a definite rebuy. I'm just over half full. So, but when it comes time, I will be repurchasing that product. Okay, so I've already moisturized, so I'm going to start with my primer. I'm using the One Size Secure the Sweat. I've really been reaching for this product. I think you guys, like if you've watched my videos for the past like year, I feel like I've been reaching for this ever since I bought it in spring, and I actually repurchased it. So maybe it was even before spring, maybe it was last fall. I don't know. It's actually made for dry or for oily skin. And I've just been loving it. Like, I feel like it keeps my makeup going, but I do moisturize really well. So if you want to use a product like this, just make sure you moisturize really well first. I just feel like it creates such a nice silky base, but it's also like a little tacky so that your product sticks better. So now I've got my two makeup sponges here to use. I'm going to mix two different products for my base. So I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation, the shade 3N. It's a little dark, but I'm going to mix in my Dior Forever Glow Star Filter. This is the shade 2. This is kind of like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in the fact that it is, but the thing I like about it though is that it's a pump and not a wand. So the Star Filter, or sorry, the Hollywood Flawless Filter. Is that Hollywood Flawless Filter? Anyway, the Hollywood filter, the glow filter, you have to like spot, like it's a wand. And I like this one because you can mix it in with your foundation. So I'm going to start with a pump of each on each side of my face and see how well that brings me. Like lately, I've really been loving my YSL foundation, and it's like the really good skin color for me, like a really good color match for my skin right now. And when I put that product on, if I use 3 pumps, I like smooth it out over my forehead and it doesn't crease, which is why I just love it. But today we're going to try this one. So I'm using a pump of each on each side of my face, and then all I do is I take that product and I blend it up to my forehead so that it doesn't leave excess like weirdness or wrinkling or any of that. But I figured if I could mix these two, I would get maybe the best of both worlds. I don't actually know. Sometimes if you mix products that you're not sure about, it doesn't give you the best result. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so it is kind of giving me this like beautiful glow, and the color looks natural. It kind of gets rid of that redness that I have, which is kind of what I like it for. I'm going to go over the eyelid, over the forehead. Okay. So now I'm going to do it again. 1 pump of the foundation, 1 pump of the Star Filter. The Star Filter is like a little bit pinker, and then the foundation's a little bit more like neutral beige. And so I feel like the mix between the two is like a really nice color. I almost feel like you don't even need like a second full pump. It's like a half pump would do because you already have product on your sponge from like the previous side, but it's okay. We'll just keep blending it until it looks good. And I'll have to go back into the forehead because I know that this product creases a little bit. So I'm just going to continue blending this out till I'm happy, and then I will be right back. All right, so it's a little bit darker than I'm normally used to. I'm just going to quickly do brows. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is the shade Cool Cookie. I don't use the liquid side. I just use the pencil side because I really like the pencil from Urban Decay. So usually for concealer, I use my Westman Atelier because I've really been loving that product, and it's amazing because it doesn't crease. But today I'm going to go in with my Kosas Creamy Revealer Concealer. This is the shade 04, and it's a little bit lighter, so I feel like it's going to tone down the darkness that is this foundation right now. So we're going to add some underneath my eyes to cover up my, I wouldn't say necessarily circles. I feel like the foundation did a pretty good job, but just to kind of lighten things up, a little bit around my nose because I have some veining there. And we are going to highlight a little bit. I don't normally highlight with concealer, but I feel like I need some highlighting today because of the darkness. I'm also going to add some to my cheek here. I haven't done my contour yet, but we will, and it's going to, a lot of times I find that if you're not careful, it kind of like comes down your cheek, and you don't want that when it comes to contour. But we're going to add some pretty high up the cheek here, and I'm going to add some around the temples, in the forehead, under the lip a little bit, just for a little shade. And then I'm going to use my Morphe, this is called the Shoplifter Micro Contour Stick in the shade Refined. I've really been enjoying this one, you guys. If you don't have this yet, you should check it out. I'm not a huge Morphe fan. Like, I think I got rid of my palettes, or I'm working on getting rid of all my palettes, but this little guy, I've been looking for something like this for a really long time. So what I also do is I add contour like right about here, and then I add highlighter to the end of my nose. So I'm going to come back to that once I've blended out this concealer. So now, to make this concealer a little bit more precise, I think I'm going to use a brush, and then I'll go over it with my sponge afterward. So concealers first, we'll blend that out. Okay. Probably didn't need this much product. I feel like I put too much on. It's okay. I'm going to bring this up onto the lid to prep for shadows. I'm very excited with this. And what I do when I do use the shadows, like how I'm using it today, is I spray my brush with water or setting spray. And it's just so pretty, like the way it is. It turns out into a really pretty finish. And the bonus to that is that you get no fallout. So that's always a good thing too. Okay, so it's looking a little choppy here. Too much product, but I'm going to blend it out with my sponge after, just to kind of lighten the amount of makeup I've got on. And then I need a smaller brush here. Let me see what I have. I'm going to blend out my contour with a brush as well. I found this Soft Blend Concealer by Sigma. It's the F64. I'm going to see how well it does with the contour. So we're just going to lightly blend it because especially on my nose, I really like the shape that it gives me naturally. So we're just going to leave it like this. Under the lip. Blend the contour. Where did I hear that from? Somebody who does cosplay videos. Contour. Really like cosplay dress up. It looks like so cool. I've seen so many like makeup artists turn cosplay, and it's just really cool. If you're wondering what cosplay is, it's like a costume, and you actually get dressed up for like big conventions. It's kind of fun. Yeah, too much product again, so I'm going to blend it up into my hairline. Okay, I'm going to go back in with this product and touch this up here. Just right there is like the perfect area. Use the brush to blend it out a tad. Not too much. Add a little bit more product and blend it. And then I think we need to blend. Where's my concealer brush? Brush, where did you go? Aha, Eureka, I found it. So I'm going to go down here and use this to kind of blend up. Is it doing something funky? It like dried weird. Just make sure that this is a nice little line right there, and then we're going to blend it out with the sponge, and it's going to look natural, I promise. It looks like this weird, awkward line right now, but we'll get it good. Sometimes I like letting my products dry down a little bit because then it gives it like this really good finish, like a really good finish. It just kind of like stays in place, and then you don't have to worry about your products moving around. Okay, so what we're going to do, before I spray my face with setting spray, I'm going to blend this out with my sponge. But before any of that, we're going to apply shadow, just because I'm excited to see what this looks like. I've got my eye on Pisces. I've also got Lyra. So this is Capricorn, Pisces, and Lyra. They're all kind of like shades of like greeny gray, except for that one, of course. But I really have my eye on Capricorn. I just want to like put it on my eye to see what it looks like first. And then if we hate it, we can switch it to the other shade. So I'm going to add some setting spray to my brush. And to top it off, like this is like the easiest shadow look you can do. So if you're unsure about like shading and using different shades, just use one sparkly shade and it's easy, right? It's so easy. So we're going in with Capricorn. Oh, it's kind of like an army green color. Ooh, that's so pretty. Okay, so yeah, it definitely shows up more green on the eye than in the pan. I love it already. And it's going to go, it kind of looks like a Christmas look actually. So this is the first green color of the Christmas season. There we go, you guys. It's not even that Christmassy. It's not even that green. It's almost like, I don't know, bordering on like a gray green color. But I really like it. I almost feel like I should put like a golden dot in the center of my eye, kind of like a, what do you call that? I can't remember the name of it. That's really pretty. Now it makes me want to put green on my liner instead of like black. So maybe I'll like check in my liner and see what we've got. Then we'll kind of come back and like I'll apply it and then see what it looks like. Okay, so what I do is I apply it and then we let it dry out. So right now it's damp and we'll let it dry and then we can blend it out easily. And then we also do the lower lash line too, but we need liner. We need liner first. So let's see what we've got. So I've got this Morphe. It's called Falling from Green. I also have a Jeffree Star one. Actually, this is a pretty color. It's not dark though. I like dark colors when I'm doing this. I've got Assets by Jeffree Star. What color is that? Oh my god, what happened to my liner? It is completely gone. I bet you my daughter got into this. I think I'm going to do a combination. So my normal go-to is black because I like having the black line in my eyes. So when I apply liquid liner, mascara, lashes, it just looks nice and pretty and dark. But what we're going to do is put on the green first. I just need to sharpen my pencil because this isn't very sharp. And then, so what I do is I line the lower lash line and really spill over onto the like lashes, and then when I go to add color, I blend it in and mix it in, and it just looks really good. And then we're going to apply black liner on top of it. So the black pencil liner I've been loving lately is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in 100 whatever black. It's like my go-to right now. I also actually like the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Longwear Gel Eyeliner in True Black, so maybe we'll use that one instead. Okay, so I'm going to apply this liner and we'll be right back and I'll show you what that looks like before we add shadow. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So you can see like the green, and then I've got like black on the actual waterline, and I added black to the upper waterline too. People call it tight lining, but I kind of like, yeah, I kind of put liner in between the lashes, if that makes sense. Like I just kind of smush it up there. So now I'm going to take my sponge and really blend everything so everything looks good. and like pretty, and it doesn't look weird. And then before we put blush on and highlighter, we're definitely going to give it some setting spray, a couple of sprays. But before we do that, we're going to take a clean brush. And now that my eyeshadow is like dried down, I'm just going to blend the edges here on the top. And then we're going to go back into that first brush and add some color to the lower lash line. I feel like I do love monochromatic light like looks like this, but I feel like also we might have to add some gold to the inner corner just to kind of give it some life. I feel like it's just kind of like sitting there and it's not like eye popping, if that makes sense. So we're going to take the same brush, go into Capricorn and run it along the lower lash line now. This brush is a little bit damp, so I don't need a whole bunch. I'm just going to like tap it in and then kind of like run it along the lash line gently. That green liner is really popping, so that really helped actually. Okay, so then I'm going to, I don't really want to use my finger. I'm going to take a different brush, spray this one the setting spray too, and then go in. I think I'm going to pick a shade like Phoenix. It's almost like really light, and it's just going to pick up some of that brightness, and it's going to give us like a whole new look. So just see, I don't know if you can tell, it just kind of gives it some life. You know, it's really sparkly. So I guess I can no longer call this a monochromatic look. It's not. It's really pretty though. Kind of fitting too with a name like Phoenix. I actually used to have a cat named Phoenix a long time ago. He was a black cat with a little white patch on his chest, and he would be so weird. He would drool in your ear. He'd crawl up your shoulder and he would drool in your ear. And I kind of miss that cat. I ended up moving and I thought my ex was going to keep him, and he ended up giving him away. He was a farm cat that we rescued, and yeah, he gave him away. So that made me sad because I took one cat, but where I moved I couldn't have two animals. I could only have one, and so it kind of hurt a little bit. It's the first time that I've ever done something like that. Like, I always keep my animals because they're my family. And so, yeah, I'm not proud of that. And I miss that little critter. He's probably passed away by now, but makes me sad. Okay, so now when I'm looking at my face, it does kind of look like my face is a bit darker than my neck. So I'm just, hopefully it's not too much darker. We're going to do some setting spray now. So we're going to set the face down. I've sprayed a lot, so we're going to use my fan to dry my face. And I can tell that my foundation has set into my expression lines because I can see it, and it's driving me crazy. And I hate not having my lips done, so what I'm going to do is line my lips and put on the light colored lipstick. Part of me wants to do red, but I don't know. The other one part's like, yes, do red, and the other one's like, nah, red's too much right now. Okay, so we're going to do my Anastasia lip liner in Cool Brown. Before I do the upper lip, I'm actually going to take a little bit of my highlighter and just add some to my lip right here. Just because I like highlighting my Cupid's bow. Okay, and then I'm going to use my Morphe cream lipstick, I think. Let's see what I have here. This is the shade Flirt. Okay, so that's good. And now for the eyes. What else do we need to do? I think we're basically done. I'm just going to go into my forehead here. I'm going to take a clean section of my sponge and just like clean this up because it's driving me crazy. The less product on my forehead, the better. Okay, and for cheeks, I'm going to use this Give Dewy Plump Collagen Cheek Tint in the shade Bouquet. It's like a pink color usually, or you know, let's do marigolds. I feel like this color just goes a bit better with green shadow. So this is blush. It's a gel blush. It doesn't really have a great color payoff, and I was wondering why. Like maybe that's perhaps why they didn't stay. Like I mean, I thought they like went out of business. I don't know. Like maybe they are still around. Maybe they just reformulated. I don't know. But I feel like the blush payoff for me anyway isn't there, and I feel like maybe for people who aren't into blush as much as me, maybe it's good because then, you know, you can't overdo it. That's a thing. Definitely a thing to overdo blush. But in my experience, and like I love blush, I love adding lots of blush. I feel like it fades. It does really fade on me after a while. And once your look is complete, it's kind of like, oh, what happened to the blush? So once the eyes are done, it's kind of like, oh, it's not there anymore. Okay, so there we have our blush. I'm just going to setting spray one more time. Another setting, another spray here. Okay, and then we're going to wait for that to dry. I think I'll add highlighter after like lashes are done. So I'm going to go off camera, add liquid liner to the top lash line, mascara and lashes, and then we'll come back, finalize with highlighter. We will be right back. All right, guys, I feel like I added these lashes at the perfect time. They just stuck. They were like perfect. So now we're going to add highlighter. I'm going to use my Mary Lou by the Balm. I just love this stuff. As you can tell, like I'm almost done the palette. I've got this teeny tiny brush that I use for inner eye corner. So we're just going to add a tad there. Just around the corner, just again, bring that light to the eye, especially when you're using like a dark shadow. I don't know, it's just so pretty. And it does kind of like space your eyes a little bit. So if you have like eyes that are close set, it helps to use lighter colors around the inner corner of your eye. A little bit under the eyebrow here. My lashes are so long, they're hitting the top of my eyebrow area. Okay, and then I'm going to use my highlighter brush, and we're going to add a touch on the nose here. Along the bridge of the nose. A little bit between the brows. I already added it to the Cupid's bow, and a little bit on the chin, and then the last step is the cheeks. I love giving a little bit of light here. It just kind of highlights the entire look. I just love it. And then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and blend that out. Just add a little bit of fallout from the highlighter there. And I think I'm good. I think I'm happy with this. So I'm going to do another setting spray. And fan the face with my fan. I love this fan. Comes in so handy in summer. Cools you right off. And that is it for this look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I still feel like my face is a bit darker than the rest of my neck and chest, but that's fine. People are going to be too caught up in the eyelashes to even like notice. So I am going to have a video soon on my channel talking about, like, I might be up at this point, I don't remember, but I will be talking about my foundations and concealers, so be sure to check that video out. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. If you are new, please subscribe, click on the bell button, and remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye! Bye.